Well. So it seems I'm back. I don't see anybody showing up, but it's been a solid 2 years since I've created a video on YouTube. So I really don't expect anybody to tune in until after this is posted, maybe later on today and throughout the week. So, you guys, I really want to fill you in on where I have been, what I've been doing, and what is to come. So, first of all, I just want to start by saying hello to everybody. Hello again. I haven't disappeared. I know it seems like, where did you go? And I have read a lot of the comments, and I regret that it felt that way for you guys, that I just kind of picked up and left. I've had so many changes, as we all have over the past few years, and about 2 years ago, when I stopped making videos on YouTube, I actually was offered this wonderful opportunity to work with a man named Bix Weir. Some of you may know him, some of you may not, but he has a wonderful body of work spanning many decades. And most notably is his Road to Ruta theory. So if you guys want to know a little bit about Bix Weir and see some of the work that I've been doing just over these past 2 years, you're going to want to head over to Road to Ruta on YouTube, and you'll see I haven't been gone. I've been very, very busy. And I do want to explain my reasoning for really not engaging with this particular channel at all in those years. It became a situation where I was really having to delegate and manage my time and also my energy. I committed, within the contract with Bix Weir, I committed to one video a week. And you would think that's not a lot, but it really is. And what I was able to do was really focus on my clientele for my tarot readings, which I am still doing that. And I've improved, and I've really just been blessed with the opportunity to focus a lot of my energies on, fostering relationships with my clients and perfecting my craft. And YouTube has always affected me in a strange way. I don't know if it's the AI, I don't know if it's the platform itself, but it has always felt quite draining and taxing for me to do videos over here. So within the last 2 years, it didn't make a lot of sense to put a ton of energy into making videos for my channel when I had, this other platform where it just made more sense. But change is inevitable, and I've just had so many people over the years ask me when I was going to start doing my own thing again. And I've wanted to, and I've wanted to just hit that button and go live. But it's one of those things, when you've backed out of it for a while, it's kind of like, it's daunting. It's a daunting thing, and so much has changed. But I decided, in the spirit of new things and in the spirit of this new year, I really just wanted to jump back in and, set forth all of those good intentions and welcome the new. So here we are. I'm going to just take a look over here and see what's going on. I don't know if you guys remember, but I'm literally the worst when it comes to engaging with the chat and making a video. Oh my gosh, hi you guys. Oh, Hero says, gotta do what you gotta do. That's the truth. Hey, you guys. Oh man, so I'm already seeing a ton of familiar names and faces, and I knew that this would happen. I knew that this would happen. I knew that if I had just, and I think the same goes for everything and everybody. If it's a daunting thing, if it's a scary thing, all the more reason to just jump in and go ahead and do it. So I feel really blessed that a lot of you guys have stuck with me this whole time. And I really I hadn't even been producing content. So it feels good to be back. A couple things I do want to cover. This is going to be a short video. I'm trying to get out of the habit, or start new habits rather, of really condensing these videos to potent 15 to 20-minute segments. So what I wanted to do is ask you guys what it is that you wanted to see more of and hear more of. Um, I, you know, I'm just trying to reconnect with you guys and learn about who my subscribers are. Do you want to see tarot readings for the signs, for your zodiac sign, or for your element? Do you want to hear more about what's going on in politics and get some commentary on that front? Um, my idea has actually been to fuse those two things and find a way to find common ground between the world of divination and the clown show that we're all having to observe here. So just leave in the comments later on what you guys would like to see. I'm open to suggestions. I also have a stellar list of people, professionals and experts in their own fields, ranging from quantum physics to harmonics to health people that know all about the gut, and I know energy workers. I'm so blessed to be closely connected and networked with some of the most expert and genius people that we have on the face of the earth right now. And, by the grace of God, they're all willing to collaborate with me and be interviewed. And I'm like, I have a platform, and these people have incredible, amazing things to say. And they really just need a place to share it. So that's something that I personally would really like to utilize this platform for. Not exclusively my own ideas, opinions, or insights, but really I want to share with you some of these amazing people that have come into my life and have just blown research completely out of the water and are pioneering all of these new fronts. So that's something that I really want to do, and that's something that has motivated me to just get in here, hit that go live button, and just let it fly. So I have a really awesome list. I actually see some people on that list right here in the chat. So yeah, definitely leave in the comments what you guys want to see. If you have any people in particular that you think, oh, I would love to hear what the two of them have to say, I would love to hear what that conversation looks like, then please leave those names and suggestions in the comments. So let's see here. I made a couple notes. I tried to be as prepared as possible. So this is the year of the water rabbit. Last year, I believe, was the year of the tiger. And I thought that this was a good intro to get us warmed up as far as the tone and the ambiance of 2023. So the year of the water rabbit officially started on January 22nd, just a few days ago. And if it's okay with you guys, I would just like to cover some standout energies associated with the water rabbit that I felt are very pertinent to the journey that we're on right now. So, what is a rabbit? A rabbit is a prey animal. It happens to reproduce very, very quickly because in the wild, rabbits are killed very frequently, and therefore, an aspect of their survival is their ability to reproduce in great quantities and very, very quickly. So, this is something that I think applies to what's going on in our world. As you guys know, we are in the middle of a medical genocide. You guys, somebody make note of what time it is. So what time is it right now? It's 2:20 Eastern time. If I last on YouTube without a strike for 24 hours, I swear I'll be shocked. Shocked, I tell you. But whatever. So we're in the middle of a massive global medical genocide. And this year, I feel and others feel will be a very difficult time where collectively we're coming to terms with a whole lot of sudden death. and sudden death within demographics where it just doesn't make any sense. So, you know, the rabbit, more about the rabbit. Those of you that are veterans of this game, or even if you're relative newcomers, we've all heard about the molecular structure of adrenochrome and how it forms the shape of a rabbit. Now, digging all the way back into the original Matrix films, the notion of follow the white rabbit was synonymous with the idea of jumping down into rabbit holes of which there was really no coming out of. And that is exactly where I feel we stand in 2023. We are too far down. I shouldn't say too far down, but we are far enough down into that rabbit hole that there really is no coming back. There is no unknowing what we know. There is no unseeing what we have seen. And I think it bodes well for all of us to stick together. I imagine, I think rabbits have safety in numbers. There's a reason why they reproduce so quickly. And I think it is a form of defense for healthy, awakened individuals to focus on strengthening their families and having more children. The depopulation agenda is very, very real. And I can't help but feel that, the rabbits have the right idea. They have the right natural template that allows for the survival of their species. And, in the past few years, humans have come into this brutal awareness of where we truly stand on the food chain. And in the grander scheme of things, we are not at the top of the food chain at all. We are being preyed upon by people, beings that see themselves as superior to us in all ways. And like the rabbit, we are looked at as prey. And in no version of reality is a rabbit not a prey animal. Now, that being said, again, the rabbit is not without its natural defenses. It has big floppy ears so that it can perceive things clearer than other animals. Okay, and they also, where do they live? They live underground. So all of these things I think can be applied to the human race right now as far as how we navigate the year ahead and beyond. But a rabbit is very perceptive. A rabbit is always listening. They're sensitive to vibrations. They're sensitive to sound. And so I feel that this is a year, if you are prepared, if you are perceptive, if you are vigilant, you will be alerted to the source of trouble. Another defense that the rabbit has is speed, its ability to move very quickly, its ability to evade predators by jumping into the nearest hole, which, as you know, goes underground. So there's a lot of emphasis on the subterranean realities this coming year. And what I mean by that, as many of you know, we, you, me, everybody you've ever met, we exist here on the surface. We are what I like to refer to as the surface population. I believe that we are entering times of a type of merging between the different populations that inhabit this planet. That means subterranean populations, surface populations, and above. So, and maybe that's a podcast or a show for another time. I have a few experts in mind that I would just love to bring on board and pick their brain and see where they're at with everything. But just my personal insights on this, I do feel that we are moving into this blending or this overlapping of these massive collectives of populations. Those that live beneath the surface, those that live on the surface, that's us, and everybody that lives up there. The sky is a neighborhood after all. Don't get lost. I'm actually quoting Dave Grohl, who happens to be a sellout. He's a sellout, but another thing to realize with a lot of these celebrities and politicians that we're watching and listening to, have personally moved past the notion of hating these people. I don't hate anybody anymore. I let go of a lot of anger. Just refer to some of my the last videos that you see uploaded here, I'm not the same person. I've changed. I've released a lot of anger. I've released this need for revenge, this need for this kind of bloodthirsty instinct. I've tempered that. Now, that's not to say that they don't deserve that. I just feel that for me, I'm no longer overpowered by the feeling of needing revenge. And what that has done is allowed me to listen and observe a lot more closely to the things that these celebrities are saying and not saying. And if you're really listening and you're able to kind of squeegee away that hate, that revenge, that fear, you may find that we're looking at people that are more traumatized than we could imagine, and in their very own way, some of them may even be trying to redeem themselves by leaking certain information through. Um, and so I don't, while I realize that the world is a stage, I think that we have a lot to learn, and there are a lot of clues being trickled through the linguistics of a lot of celebrities and politicians. If only we know what to listen for, and we listen with our hearts and not with this sort of filter of rage, which I'm the most guilty of such things. What can I say, guys? It made me so mad. I mean, we were all side by side when we learned about the Pizzagate scandal and what they were doing to the children. And many of us endured years long, sort of this years long struggle of how could this happen? And we need to do something. And these people need to die. They need to be hung. And I'm not saying that I've changed my opinion on that. I believe that there is only one way to deal with it. But again, I've released a lot of my need for the revenge, and that's broadened my perception. I see things and hear things and get things that I think I didn't before because I was so angry and I was hurt and disgusted. And I know a lot of us were. So, and I also think that that was most likely a chapter of the Great Awakening, was that, meaning it was part of the plan, that this information, as it came out, it was meant to generate within the surface population all of these polarized emotions. And those emotions, in many cases, were used against us. And it's all been an exercise in tempering those emotions and not being a slave to the emotions, and rather channeling those emotions and collaborating with other people, working together. Like for me personally, I put a wall up. I wouldn't talk to people if they didn't believe what I believed. I judged people if they weren't exactly like me in viewpoint or political perspective, which now in hindsight, I think is super silly. I think it's dumb, and it does nothing but perpetuate ignorance. So I've changed, and I'm really happy to share with you guys all of the things that I've learned over the past 2 years working exclusively with Bix Weir, over on Road to Ruda. Um, I've had the opportunity, since I stepped away from a lot of the political stuff because it was just so taxing, so draining. I was given the opportunity to help people, and this is going to sound really crazy, um, to help people understand their natural connection to precious metals. So, what I mean by that is silver and gold. These are natural metals. These are metals that have correlations to celestial bodies. The sun is solar and it is gold. The moon is lunar and it is silver. And my work has led me down this very interesting path of understanding that silver and gold are more connected to the human heart and human auric field than maybe we previously understood, or at least more than we thought. Definitely more than I thought. I didn't know about this. Um, and so it's been really interesting to see the correlations between the financial markets, the economic markets, specifically the precious metals markets, to see the correlation between that market and human consciousness. And what I've come to understand, and this is a work in progress for me as well, I've actually been working specifically with silver, and silver has manifested itself to me in various forms, including a collective that introduced themselves as the Silver Knights. And that's knights with a K, knights like our cards. And the Silver Knights are representative of this human and silver co-creation. If you try to imagine that, a human collective and the silver collective, which my understanding is that it is a consciousness, there's a sentience about silver. When we come together with that precious metal, we create something that is completely in and of itself unique. And so the Silver Knights are created through our interfacing. And this is a combination of human consciousness and the consciousness of silver. And the manifestation looks a lot like a wall of cavalry. Now, where's this all coming from? Well, if some of you may know that the silver markets, the precious metal markets, have been rigged, as well as the entire banking system has been rigged the whole time. But specifically in regards to precious metals, the true power, the true sentient properties, and these transcendental qualities of silver have been completely covered up, and misused by the elite, as they like to call themselves. And something interesting I've come to understand is that silver, the consciousness of silver, has a reflective quality to it, in the sense that where human consciousness goes, silver seems to follow. It reflects us. So I believe that as people, as the surface population becomes more aware and their collective paradigm widens, and when I say widens, I mean think of how you felt as an individual within a 24 to 48 hour span, in which you learned more truth about things that you didn't know. Think about how that changed you. Think about how that absolutely transformed the terrain of your psyche. There was never any going back. Now, I am now of the understanding that as the surface population comes into these very difficult knowings, and our collective paradigm expands, I believe that the consciousness of silver, the sentience of silver, meets us. It reflects us halfway. And therefore, our ability to utilize these precious silvers to save ourselves, to restore our sovereignty, and really to get us back on track with a true healthy economy, and not the parasitic structure that we're all accustomed to, because we were all born in a time when the banking industry was king. But as you guys know, we're living through this major dissolution of those systems. Whether you care to see it or not, the old systems are dying, and the the manipulators of that system, they're only trying to adapt and survive. It may seem like they have it all figured out with their centralization and their AI. They really don't have it all figured out. They need the surface population to co-sign every step of the way. So I don't want people to feel that this is lost and this is all over. If you say no, if you're the squeaky wheel every step of the way, you still have a shot. So that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years, is learning about silver, learning about precious metals, understanding our inherent connection to what could be called God's money, God's currency. And if you were to stop and really ask yourself, what are these huge boundaries that hold me back as an individual? What are these boundaries that keep me down? A lot of it is due to the fact that we have to pay bills. We have mouths to feed, bills to pay, and this need to survive, this need to make money is really obstructing the awakened. It's obstructing everybody here. And I'm of the mind that a gold backed currency is exactly what we need because it brings us back into a much more level state where really there's just so many more possibilities in that instance as opposed to the parasitic banking structure that, like I said, we were all born into. We're all familiar with feeling restricted, obstructed, and chained to the matrix through the monetary system. So I've been doing a lot of that. I see I'm at the 25-minute mark, and I'm going to honor my new ways and keep these segments down as short as I can. Um, I want to say thank you to everybody that came into the chat to support me and say hi. I know it's been 2 years, you guys, and I'm really open and very receptive to suggestions, encouragements. Like, I really love it. I love to see what you guys have to say. This really is me in my most creative state, and I'm always kind of scared to just hit that live, but every time I do it, I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad, just like with anything else, right? So expect to see more of me. And please tell me in the comments what you guys want to see. Do you want to see more tarot? Do you want to do tarot readings for the signs, for the elements, tarot readings for the collective? Some of you don't like tarot, and that's totally fine. I'm still going to do it because that is my craft, that is my passion. But tell me, folks that you'd like to see me interview, folks that you would like to see me have on. If you yourself would like to be interviewed or have a chat with me, just go ahead, go to my website, is jennyconstantine.com, and you'll be able to find my contact information there. Send me a message through my website, and that will be your line directly to my email. And yeah, thank you guys for all of your support. And I'll see you guys soon. See you later.